up, guys? I'm Kel, Red Zone Rogue, and welcome to the first Ancient Knights spoiler video. So, yep, the Ancient Knights spoiler season is upon us. And it's kind of weird that it's kind of coinciding with the starter deck spoilers. So I will have both the starter deck spoilers and the Ancient Knights spoilers each week as they roll out. But without further ado, let's just jump into it, because this is pretty sweet with the new ruler, Pandora. Just straight up Pandora, and that's right, Pandora's back. I was really surprised with this, and she's got a whole new mechanic. She's got a pretty new look. I guess she's like younger or whatever. Either way, she looks pretty good. She's a ruler guardian. She's a light ruler, as you can see. She has a judgment of 1, and the judgment says play this ability only if you control 3 or more golems. So that's going to be her mechanic for Ancient Knights golems, and Ancient Knights is going to be more centered around supporting the rulers that it is, and the starter deck rulers. So there's going to be a lot of golem support in the set, which is really cool. We will go over a bunch of golems in a minute, but let's finish covering this card, because she is really cool. She's really interesting. I actually like this card quite a bit. And she also has Energize of 1 light. That's pretty standard. And she has no wingdings. She actually just has the sealed ability Unsealed. It says Hair Ornament of Light. Costs 0. Target golem you control is mobilized until end of turn. Play this ability only once per turn. So that basically means you can play it on your opponent's turn and on your turn. And the mobilized just means that the golem can attack or block. There is an ability we will go over in a little bit, and it's going to be like this mobilization type ability where you have to pay a cost in order to make the golem attack or block. And like I said, we will go over that when the time comes. First, let's go over her J-Ruler side with Pandora, Guardian of the Sacred Temple. And I really like the art in this card. It's really cool. She's like not having any shit. She's just sending all of her big ass golems. She's a 1,000, 2,000, which is pretty big stats. She's a J-Ruler Guardian. She's light, as you can see. It says golems you control are mobilized, so all of your golems can attack or block. I think all of the golems have this mechanic where they can't attack or block unless you pay a cost, unless you circumvent that with Pandora here, which is pretty sweet. And it says if damage would be dealt to a golem you control, it's dealt to this card instead. So she kind of like absorbs all the damage from golems, which is pretty good in saving your golems, but it's kind of also like this double-edged sword thing where if your opponent does a whole bunch of damage to your golems, then they could just like insta-kill her, which is, you know, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of this cool like give and take where she protects your dudes. And then she also has the Hair Ornament of Light, but it's changed on this side now. So this time you can pay 2 light and 2 of any, and it says golems you control gain plus 400 until end of turn, which is really sweet. And I think you can do that as many times as you want, as many times as you can actually pay for it. So you can kind of just like mass your opponent with like fucking army of golems and just kind of smash in for a lot, which I think is really cool. It's kind of like this aggro golem centric strategy going on with her, and I dig it quite a bit. So let's go over the next card. It is the stone for Pandora, the Mysterious Magic Stone. It's a special magic stone. Treat this card as a light magic stone. You can rest to produce a light. You can rest a light and it to banish this card, put target golem from your graveyard into your hand. Pretty straightforward, just gets the golem back. Pretty good. If the golem deck is good, then this card will be good, and I really dig the art in this card too. It's very regal, and I don't know, I like it. I like it quite a bit. Next up, we have our first golem, the Magic Light Warrior. It's like this little cute golem. You saw it on the Pandora ruler side. It is a 600 for 1 white. That is absolutely crazy stats, but it has this mobilize ability that I mentioned. So it says mobilize 1 white or 1 light, and this card cannot attack or block even unless its controller pays 1 light. So yeah, that's the mobilize mechanic. I think all of the golems have this mechanic. And, you know, like I said before, Pandora helps you circumvent that. So, yeah, this kind of just pretty good in the Pandora deck. Next up, we have the Magic Sword Warrior, 600 for 2 light. It has First Strike and Mobilize. So, once again, it's got the Mobilize ability, but at 600 for 2 with First Strike, pretty good. Next, we have the Bubble Golem, and I think this is the weakest of the golems. Not in terms of attack and defense, because it actually has crazy attack and defense. It's a 1,000 for 2 water. It's a golem. It has Mobilize 1 of any, and it just says, at the end of battle, banish this card if it attack or blocked. And I really don't like this type of effect on cards in general. It's kind of like this one-shot deal. I guess it's going to be kind of cool. It's probably going to be decent, maybe in Limited, where you can like trade up for a bigger resonator, but in Constructed, I don't really see this seeing a lot of play, but it is still kind of interesting. It gives you some options, like a really overstated minion that has a really big downside. I mean, I guess you can always get it back with the special magic stone, and there's another card we're going to talk about later that'll help you get it back. So next up, we have the Big Papa Golem. We have the Ultimate Magic Warrior Gear Atmos. That's a really long name, but I think it's pretty cool. He's like this big-ass fucking golem. He's a 2000 for 5 and 2 light. That's crazy. That's 7 cost. But kind of like put that out of your mind because we're really not going to be paying that 7 cost. He has Mobilize 3, which is also a lot. So, I mean, you're going to want to use Pandora to make this guy attack and block. And it says you may banish 3 golems rather than pay this card's cost. So it's kind of got like this unique golem incarnation type ability where you just banish 3 golems rather than pay its cost. That's pretty cool. I think if there's some way to like generate golem tokens in the future to put like a whole bunch of golems into play, like little ones, and then play this dude for free, I think it could be really good. Right now you're gonna have to be like, you know, banishing 3 actual cards, which is it's not super great for a dude that can be removed pretty easily. But when this card enters the field, you can destroy target resident your opponent's control. That's really good. So I think this guy is pretty good, especially if like a card comes along that lets you put multiple golems into play all at once. I think this card could be amazing. Next up, we have Pandora's Order, and I think this card's super sweet, especially when combined with the last card we talked about. And this one is a quick cast chant for 2 of any and 2 water, and it says, put target golem from your graveyard into the field. It is mobilized until end of turn. At the end of the next turn, return to his owner's hand. So yeah, you can put that big dude into play, destroy one of your opponent's resonators, block a dude, or you know, do all sorts of stuff. So I think this card's pretty good in the golem style deck, especially combined with that big guy. And the final card for today is Grabbling Light. It is a chant for 3 of any and 2 light, and it just says destroy all non-golem resonators. That's super cool in the golem deck. So I really want to give this golem deck a shot. I'm really anxious to see like what other sort of support we have for it. I love something like this. Just blow up all of the other non-golem. Like it's kind of like a one-sided wrath effect or one-sided board wipe, which is really, really sweet. Keeping all your big golems in play, letting you like, maybe if you have enough will to like pump them all up with Pandora, give them all plus 400 and smash it in while your opponent has nothing. That's pretty sweet. I like it quite a bit. And I really like this golem theme. So far, I think Ancient Knights is showing to be pretty promising. Remember, there's only going to be a couple rulers in the set. I heard talks of maybe 2 or 3. Probably 3 as opposed to like the normal 5. So, I mean, that'll be interesting, but there will be more support for those rulers, which is really cool. So the rulers will have specific support, and there will also be support for the starter deck rulers, which is also really cool. So there you have it, guys. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the new Pandora and her little golem buddies. I think it's really cool. I can't wait to try her out. She's one of the few rulers that I've seen that I immediately really want to try out. I like kind of like this golem theme, and the deck almost kind of builds itself. It'll be really interesting to see like the different variants on this style of build that people come up with. I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope you guys liked the video. I already said my spiel. Yeah, have a good one all, and I will see you later.